Hello everybody, this is Joanna from Counselor. In this video, I am going to explain how to pull your students into your Canvas classes. First, let me explain what I have in here. So I am in my dashboard in the section of the unpublished courses. If you notice, I have one course that is a manually created course. Is the course that I created in the summer, is the course where I put all my content, the one that I have been working on. Then on the side, I have the courses that probably you have noticed in your dashboard. You already have some sections that have been creating by Tyler SIS. Those sections already have the enrollment of the students that you have officially. So there are two ways to bring students to your classes. Number one, we can copy the content that you develop in your manually created course, the course that you develop in the summer, and we can push that content into each one of the Tyler SIS sections that we have. That would be the first one of the options. The second option is what we call the cross-listing, which is combining the sections, combining the students into one single source, into one single course. So imagine that I take all your students from this section and I pull them into the manually created course that I made in the summer. And then I take all the students from the second Tyler course and I push them into my manually created course from the summer. So those are the two options. Let me tell you exactly how you do each one of those two options, and it will be your decision if you want to go in one route or you want to go into the other route. So the first route is, what if I want to copy the content of my course that I developed in the summer into each one of the Tyler courses that I have already created with my students? So what I'm going to do is I am going to click into one of the Tyler courses. And once I am there, you notice here on the right side, I have the A menu, and the course is completely empty. It doesn't have anything in it. So I am going to import existing content. So click on importing existing content, and then once the window opens, you will have to select here from this drop-down menu one of the options, and the option that you want to select is the copy a Canvas course. Then it will give you the option to select for a course. Normally, in your case, you will have a drop-down menu. You can select among all the courses that you have. In this case, I have to type it. So in this case, I want to copy my manually created course, the course that I developed in the summer. I am going to copy all the content. So I click in that all the content button, and then I import everything that I have in that course. Everything will be imported, all the pages, all the assignments, all the modules, even the settings will be imported. It will take a couple of seconds. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to go back into the dashboard. And in the dashboard, I can double check that the content was copied. So if you remember, what I was trying to do is copy the content from my summer created course into the Tyler course. So once I click on the Tyler course, it was empty in the beginning. Now it will have all the different items that I created in my summer course. That is the first option. Now the second option would be the cross-listing option. This requires a few more steps, but the benefit of it is that you will have all your students combined into one section. And that one section is the only Canvas classroom that you will have to manage. So step number one, you have to go into your manually created course, the course that you created in the summer that has all your content. You click in it, and you want to copy this number that is at the end of the URL of the course. So I copy the 1236 number. That is what we call the course ID. So I copy Control C, that last number, 1236, because that is the ID of my course. Now, I go back into my dashboard. Remember, I am saving that course ID. 1236 is the course ID of my manually created course. Now, I will go into the course where I have my students. That is the Tyler SIS. Remember, the goal of cross-listing is for me to push my students from Tyler into my manually created course. So I click on the Tyler SIS course that I want to move my students from. And what I'm going to do is I am going to click into the settings. Once I click in settings, you will see these tabs on the top. You want to click on sections. Now I want you to notice something. Right now, the only section that I have is the Tyler SIS course section. It will have the name of your class right here, and it will say the number of students for the enrollment. In this case, I only have 4 students. This next step is really, really crucial. It's super important that you create an extra section. In that section, you can call it with your last name. So in this case, I am going to call it Funkhauser section 1. And I will be adding that section. This step is crucial. You need to create an extra section and you will be enrolling yourself into that section. If you were to forget this step, if you were not to create that extra section, you will be disassociated from this course and you will not be able to see this course anymore. So it is very, very important that you create an extra section that has your name and in which you will be enrolling yourself. So I am going to go into the tab for people. That will be the next step. So go into the tab for people. Once I am into the People tab, if you notice, I have my students, and then on this side at the far right, you will see 3 dots. Click on the 3 dots, and then you want to edit the sections. So once you are there, remember you want to enroll yourself into the section that you created. Okay, so Funkhauser, section 1, that is the section that I want to be. So now I am in 2 sections, the Tyler SIS section, which is the original section where all my students are, and then the newly created section, and I update that. Once I have done this, this is the step that is super, super important, crucial for your success in combining your classrooms or your enrollments. Then you go back into the settings. At this point, everything is completely set up. Remember, you are in the Sections tab. Once you are in the Sections tab, the next step would be the actual cross-listing. So click on the Tyler SIS course. Once you are there, you will be able to see your students here in the top part, and then you will be able to cross-list this section. Now, I want you to notice, at this point, in this moment, I have all my students in the Tyler SIS course number 1. Here, these are called the breadcrumbs. In the breadcrumbs, you will see that right now I am in this course, but then after cross-listing, and adding the number that is the ID of my course. And once I add that number, I click outside of that little field, that rectangle, and I will see that I will be cross-listing into the manually created course that I was using in the beginning. Remember, this is the course that I created in the summer. So once I cross-list this section, all the students will be moved into another course. So now it says up here, select section successfully cross-listed. And if you notice in the breadcrumbs, instead of saying Tyler SIS course, it says manually created course. So at this point, all my student enrollment from that Tyler course will be in the manually created course. And if you notice on this side, I have the decross list this section. So in the case that for any reason you have a mistake, you made a mistake, you have the opportunity to go back and decross list. And when you decross list a section, all your enrollment will be put back into the original Tyler classroom. So it is very important that you follow these steps very carefully so you have all your information complete and you're not forgetting anything and you're not losing anything. So at this point, if I go into the settings and I take a look to my sections, at this point, you can see that I have the Tyler SIS course, and in this place, if I cross list another section, I will have the name of this section and then the number of the students that come with that section. So remember, one more time, I am combining with this process, I am combining my students from the Tyler SIS courses. I am combining them into the manually summer created course. If you were to go back into the Tyler SIS course, you will notice that students are not there anymore. Your students will be able to be in only one Canvas course at a time. So just follow those steps. Those are the two ways in which you will be adding students to your classes. Make sure you are very careful when you're choosing your sections, and I will be in campuses if you have any questions. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon.